in the mirror. Man, you're so dirty. Yeah, you look so dirty. You were never worthy. Lately, it's you.
Welcome to the Jeremy Hill Show. If you're easily triggered, leave now, because this is not the show for you. Now, I'm making this episode dedicated to Marcus Williams. He is a member of the show, and he requested for me to make this video about paternity issues and whatnot. So what I'm going to do is play a clip of a very nasty paternity battle in paternity court. It is unbelievable. So let me go ahead and tell you first that these clips are out of fair use. This is an educational video educating you about paternity issues. Let's go ahead and get started, and you tell me what you think about all of this in the comments. Talk to you soon.
So you had no doubt you were the biological father?
I had no doubt.
So, Ms. Moore, why is his name listed as the legal father on her birth certificate if you say you knew he was not the biological father?
Because while I was drugged up in the hospital, he had signed the papers.
Well, wait a minute. Why is he even at the hospital
I told
then?
him not to come. He said only way he will leave if it's through a body bag or if the police officer come and get him.
Now check this out. What you have is an example of a man who is a good man, but he apparently is a simp. He is a sucker simp, you know. You can kind of tell. And he has a woman who doesn't love him. Okay? Now, I'm not going to reveal too much of this yet, but I will tell you this much right here. There's a 10-month-old child involved in this situation. Another man that she was banging on the side while she was with this man during the 10 months time that the child was already born, and also previously before the child was born. And the type of man that she was banging was a Pookie, a Ray Ray, Nook Nook. You'll be able to tell through his demeanor. You also will be able to tell through other I think they're going to have pictures of him in the club or something.
So I don't understand what's going on here. Now, you're in a relationship. During the window of time when DeMiracle was conceived, you were in a relationship with Mr.
No, we was broken up. When Miracle was born, we was broken up.
Not born, conceived.
Conceived, yes.
You were in a
See how women do that? Women try to play words and stuff like that. Conceives mean you was in the act of fucking, that you got nutted in when the child was developed. That's what the judge is trying to point out, that you was with another man and you were sexually active with another man. Now, she wants to say when the child was born, trying to go ahead and skip past the part where she was getting her brains banged out by another man and make you not think about the part about her actually getting her booty tossed in the air by another man. That's why I like the judge said what she said about conceived instead of born.
Relationship with Mr. McCray.
No, when she was conceived, we was broken up. The month of September, when I got pregnant, we was not together.
So you knew in your mind, you felt like you knew that Mr. McCray was not her biological father.
Right. My husband is the father.
This is interesting because Mr. McCray arrives at the hospital believing he's the biological father of the child.
Yes.
You sit there, you wait through the birth. Do you participate in the birth?
Yes, I
No,
cut the
he said
umbilical cord.
You cut the umbilical cord.
Yes, because
This man cut the umbilical cord. Now, she's married to Pookie right now. She chose to marry Pookie, this big old fat, no good for nothing, whale-shaped ass woman who was cheating on this good man. She's married to Pookie. You'll see him in a little bit. But she misled this man long enough to believe that he was the father, to the point that he was in the hospital doing the birth, and he's cutting the umbilical cord. See, gentlemen, when a woman is using you and she's done with you and she decides to discard you and throw you away like rubbish, none of that matters. None of that matters that you was there. Your heart was wide open. You was loving this baby. You thought this baby was your child, and he still believes that's his child. To this day, he believes that. Well, I ain't gonna say to this day, you see what happened now. But he believed that at the time. And you letting this man cut the umbilical cord?
Yeah, he cut it, but he was sitting on the side.
But wait a minute, Miss Moore. Now, hold on. Because I know, wait a minute, I've been a mother in a hospital. Now, if this is not your husband, you weren't married to him, right? And you say you didn't believe he was the biological father of this child. He said he wasn't leaving unless a body bag took him out or security.
Right.
Well, then why wouldn't you just call security?
Because I was already drugged up. They had with epidural in me and everything. So I was.
Because she still needed him. She was using him. She wasn't too sure or confident that the relationship that she was trying to have with the Pookie was going to work out or not. And that will be revealed shortly.
Don't be able to remember anything because I was in so much pain.
We were living together.
But my point is, it sounds
Y'all
like to
left.
me you allowed him to go through this process. You say your husband is this child's father. Why wasn't he at the hospital?
Because he was
What?
going through some things
What the-
then, and he couldn't really be there. If he been there, Mr. McCray would not have been there. And I was
Mr.
already
McCray,
irritated.
when
We
did-
were living
when-
together.
So when you went into labor and went to the hospital, you all were living together? You and Mr. McCray?
Yes.
Now, do you see how this makes absolutely no damn sense? This man was living with, she was using this man. He was the backup while she was trying to get things settled with the Pookie, the other man. You get what I'm trying to say here? So that's why. And this man was just being used and led astray, just lied to. Now, you know damn well if a woman don't want a man in the hospital while she's giving birth, she sure hell ain't gonna let that man cut the umbilical cord. She could have called security. She said I was too drugged up, but you were still drugged up when he was telling you that you gotta take me out with a body bag. He wasn't that high. You understood the entire conversation. You spoke to this man. You get what I'm saying? It ain't nothing but lies, man.
How old was DeMiracle when you got kicked out of the house?
She was 10 months old. She moved the other guy in. The day of, she kicked me out.
Not the very next day. And the other guy is my husband, and I knew since I was 5 years old.
See, that's the other guy. And you can tell that's his baby. But look at it. As soon as she kicked out the good man, she moved the other man in right after that. So the good man was thrown out while the other man was moved in because the other man was banging his girl that he was in a relationship with. You understand what I'm saying? And then she say that she been knowing him since she was 5 years old. This woman been sleeping with this man for a long period of time, man. Off and on type of thing. See, this is the type of man, gentlemen, you gotta understand. Remember in my other videos I told you, one of the ways that you vet a woman, one of the ways, is look at her past relationships. If you're the complete opposite of the other men that she's normally dating, you are not her first choice. You are someone that she's settling with. You are someone that she is using until she get back to what she want to get back to. And she wanted to get back to this joker right here.
The other guy in. The day of, she kicked me out.
Not the very next day. And the other guy is my husband, and I knew since I was 5 years old.
Were you in a relationship with Miss Moore at the same time? Did you think this was an
We had a
exclusive thing?
friendship.
Miss Moore, you're not fooling me. Since you had not cut the cord on your relationship, she let him cut the cord on the baby. You felt like you knew that Mr. McCray was not her biological father.
Right. My husband is the father.
I
No, he said it's
You
okay.
cut the umbilical cord.
Yes.
Let me go to the next clip. Sorry about that. I thought it was on that one there, but let me go to the next clip. You know what I mean? Now, this is terrible. Gentlemen, this is what women would do. This is what they do. They'll use you while they got their hearts joined to another man. Let me go and play this other clip.
And play.
On this one, so he
She
can
took that
get
picture
his.
too.
Yeah, I did take this picture. I let him get in on this one right here, so he get his stuff, so he could leave.
I ain't got nothing of mine.
So you let him in the house to get his things.
Yes.
But you also let him play with the baby.
Yeah, because he wanted to play, so I was like, go ahead. Like, I really don't want him around her then either, because I already knew he wasn't a father. So I already felt bad for doing this.
What was the circumstances surrounding this picture? Do you remember Mr. McCray? How did you get in the house?
I was living there.
No, he was already out.
Did you live in the home during the time after DeMiracle was born?
Yes.
You lived in the home with her.
Yes.
No.
How old was DeMiracle when you got kicked out of the house?
She was 10 months old.
She was living in this house with another man's baby for damn near a year while she was still sleeping with another man, trying to find a way to get the good guy out the house. This is terrible, man. This is trifling. This is really trifling.
Mr. Moore, do you believe DeMiracle is your daughter?
Of course, you can just look at her. I mean, y'all ain't nobody blind.
Mr. McCray was still living in the house with you until she was 10 months old.
Like, I kept putting him out. He kept coming back.
If you think a child is your biological child, you would be saying, I'm not leaving my child either. So at this point, all we have left to get down to the bottom of this are the results. Jerome, I'm ready for the envelope.
Man. These women are
Mr. McCray, at what point did you even...
Excuse me, y'all. I'll try to find the part.
Oh,
Well, I've never seen his face until I got kicked out.
Well, I want to see his face now. Jerome, I want to hear from this husband.
Okay.
Can you please escort him into the courtroom?
Sure. Hello, sir. Have you go stand next to your wife. Go ahead and move on the other side.
Shit, terrible.
Thank you for joining us today. Mr. Moore, do you believe DeMiracle is your daughter?
Of course, you you can just look at her. I mean, y'all ain't nobody blind. You know, no offense.
So during the time DeMiracle was conceived, you were aware that she was also in a relationship with Mr. McCray.
Yeah, they was living together. That was they thing.
He knew what it was. This hoe was cheating on this man with this man right here. And he wanted to marry her, and he married her. You get what I'm saying? He said, yeah, they were living together. That was their thing. He's deflecting like a bride do. You knew that what you was doing was wrong. She knew what she was doing was wrong. They both together in unison shitted on the good dude.
But exactly my point. So we're trying to figure out if their thing produced this beautiful baby. That's what we're trying to figure out. Were you in a relationship with Ms. Moore at the same time?
We had a friend.
But you were having sex. So you're saying you were also intimate with her during the window of the time that DeMiracle was conceived.
That's nasty.
Possibility.
actually, me and Jamal actually was seeing somebody else. And when we was like being friends or whatever, I was not with McCray when me and him was hooking up.
So your now husband was seeing somebody else
Right.
at the time.
That's nasty.
But it was
So Pookie had a woman of his own, and this big, overweight, heavyweight woman was with this good guy. So everybody cheating except for the good guy. Man, let her go. And she's not that attractive, man. She is built like a broken sailboat. You should not be hurting over her. You know what I mean? It's sad. I think this gentleman has low self-esteem a little bit, but when I look at him, he probably think he can't do no better. But I believe he can. I believe in him. I believe he can. It's sad that many of you go through this stuff because you get so emotionally involved with a woman, man, that you can't let go. It's gonna hurt, but he can get somebody gonna appreciate him, especially a man who wanted to be active in who he thought was his child and his baby. He wanted to be there for the kid. He playing with the kid. You know how many women want a man that actually want to be an active father in their lives?
it wasn't like that. Like, he was going through his thing, I was going through my thing. So our relationships wasn't good at the time.
He broke up with the other girl.
Right.
And then you all
We
resumed.
resumed our kindle our relationship back.
And it is your testimony
Oh,
that
yeah,
it's during that window of time.
Now look at the husband. See, he was a Pookie. He was a street dude. I knew him when he walked in, but look at him. I don't know if you can really see good enough on there, but he got gold grill and everything on this picture like that. That's what she likes. She like thugs, dude. She like thugs. And that man he probably gonna be about shit himself. I'm not trying to talk bad about anybody, but if that type of woman is the type of woman by her appearance, that's what you want a wife, when you already know that she has a relationship going on, but that's what you want, most likely you ain't gonna be much of anything either. That's gonna be a struggle love. She gonna be supplying every damn thing. Cause notice, this good guy was living in her house, I think. I think of what you're saying. He'll keep coming back to her house. So I bet you that's what's going on here, man.
When DeMiracle was conceived.
Right.
How old was DeMiracle when Mr. Moore, when your husband broke up with the other girl?
3 months.
So at that point, did you bring him into her life? Like, did you say at 3 months old?
Yes.
But then Mr. McCray was still living in the house with you until she was 10 months old.
And then I put him out. Like, I kept putting him out. He kept coming back. Like, he
So for at least 3 months, she knew that the child that the good man was taking care of, the good man that was forming a bond with the child, she knew that wasn't his baby. She knew as that man was loving on that kid, providing for that kid, taking that kid out, changing that kid diapers, buying that kid toys, spending time with that kid, loving on that kid, doing everything that a good father would do for that kid, the entire time she knew it was another man's baby. Okay? And when the Pookie broke up, or the woman that was with Pookie left him, then she decided to bring Pookie up to the knowledge that this is your baby. That's even more scandalous. So you telling me that you was hiding the fact that the baby belonged to the Pookie, but never told him for at least 3 months after the child was born, and then during that time, the other man is loving on the kid. And then you allowed the good man to stay in the house for a total of 10 months. And then at the end of 10 months, nearly a year, now you want to kick the good man out because you know what happened? The space between 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, the space of 7 months, because she told the Pookie 3 months after the child was born that is his kid. Then kick the good man out to 10 months later. So for 7 months, why didn't she kick him out sooner? The reason why she didn't kick him out sooner, because she wasn't sure if she can get in a relationship with Pookie, because Pookie may go back to the other woman. She wasn't certain that she could get with that man to form a relationship. So she was perfectly content with using this man, letting that man play the daddy role, letting that man be the provider for the child until she knew she can get with this other man. She was using this man. And that man never knew that it wasn't his baby.
He would not leave.
Look, if you think a child is your biological child, you would be saying, I'm not leaving my child either.
Even if my daughter was not there, he would still came.
So at that point when you got put out, did you have all your things?
Nope, I had nothing. I had to come back with stuff.
Actually, came, knocked on my door, and got his things.
That I didn't want. The TV,
And I gave it to her, and she stopped me herself, and she like, yeah, that baby is your husband's.
Okay, so Mr. McCray, did your family ever come and tell you, we don't think that's your baby?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
But that did not sway your belief.
Because I know for a fact. I know.
You got to consider why the family would say that. The family probably know that Big Heifer is a hoe in a way. They might have seen her in the club that she was at meeting with this dude. Because apparently she was meeting him at that club in them picture. You get what I'm saying? They know. Sometimes you got to listen to people. Truth hurts, man. But I feel sorry for him, but in a way I don't. I'm on the fence about that. I hate that he's being used that way, but I also hate that he put himself in that position. You get what I'm saying?
I know for a fact. I know. Everyone was telling me. People that didn't know me and people that did know me. I mean, I don't care what y'all think, because y'all wasn't there when I was there. You don't know what I was going through. So I'm going to believe what I believe.
I mean, when you cut a child's umbilical cord, when you are there at the birth of a child and you think that child is yours, you formed a bond. Whether anybody likes it or not, you formed a bond.
Because when the baby was born, I looked and was like, the baby came out of that? And that's all she wrote.
Under the law, with your name listed on her birth certificate, you are the legal father.
Yes, I
which
have
means
legal rights.
you have legal rights to see her. You have a legal obligation to provide for her financially. You came here and brought this case today to prove you are her biological father, which really can put your entire standing in jeopardy. Because if it's determined today that you are not her biological father, you then leave room for Mr. and Ms. Moore to go to court and have you removed as legal father.
Yes, ma'am.
But it's important to you to have it established that you are also her biological father. That's why you're here today.
Yes.
Mr. Moore, what would you like to add?
If I write my name, okay, my biological name on the certificate. Now, mind you, you said it's supposed to be a mutual agreement, right? I wake up from being on anesthesia, and then I see another man's name, aside from just the fact of the last name that I want her to have of mine, on this piece of paper.
Let me say this, Mr. Moore, and it's your wife, and you love her, and I'm glad y'all in a relationship.
Okay.
But, Ms. Moore, you're not fooling me. I don't know where you were, but I know you were in a relationship when this baby was born. I've been a woman too long. Since you had not cut the cord on your relationship, she let him cut the cord on the baby. And that's really what happened here. What was going on is she wasn't sure you gonna leave that woman.
Yeah.
And so, hold on. She wasn't sure. And until she was sure, she led him to the water and let him keep drinking. This is clear as day from this scene.
She used him. Look at how evil and wicked some women are. Using this man, good-hearted man. And it was exactly what I said. She was using him.
And so at this point, all we have left to get down to the bottom of this are the results. Jerome, I'm ready for the envelope. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of McCray versus Moore, pertaining to whether Mr. McCray or Mr. Moore is the father of 2-year-old Demiracle McCray.
Here we go, y'all. I think you already know
It has
where
been
it's gonna
determined by this court. The biological father is
go. There you go.
The other guy is my husband, and I knew since I was 5 years old.
I've never seen his face until I got kicked out.
trying to figure out if their thing produced this beautiful baby. That's what we're trying to figure out. It has been determined by this court. The biological father is Mr. Moore.
Pookie. It was Pookie's baby the whole time. Damn.
He is the biological father.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you accept that?
I could have said it hurts.
I know.
I gotta move on. She's still pretty to me.
Of course she is.
Because I was in foster care. I didn't know my father. I don't even know my dad. He walked in this room right now. And for her to be confused and not knowing who her dad is.
This is why you need to have a man in the household to teach sons to let go of women, to know how to let go of women. He told you one of the main reasons why he held on so long, because he didn't know his father. He was given up to foster care. And he didn't want that for his child. He was so blinded by his own personal hurts that he was willing to sacrifice himself and be made a fool of just to take care of another man's kid. So in a way, he was walking in his own delusion. And women like that prey on weak men like that. Women like that prey on good-hearted men like that. Women prey on men like that who have their own traumas like that if it would benefit them.
And me being there, getting that bond with her, it brought a smile to my face.
As you move forward, you all also have to
Get my name off the birth certificate.
find the legal resolution that will serve Demiracle. So, Mr. McCray, I'm sorry this day did not go the way you had hoped. With this child, you broke a generational curse that affected.
Ooh, so what's the point of this video? That you can't trust these mustard back helpers, man. Now, Marcus Williams, I made the video for you like I said I was going to do. So here it is. Thank you for being a member, and thank you also for your requests. I usually just do requests for those who are members, not just only subscribers, but memberships. I usually do videos per request on that, and I try to fit them in because I have a lot of videos I try to put out every day. So I have to schedule these videos in. So if you ask me to do a video, and if you are a member, I won't be able to get to it right away. If I tell you it'll be next week, it'll be next week. I just can't give you the day because I have so many things already scheduled. But here you go, Marcus William. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you to the subscribers and the members and all those who are visiting the channel for your support. I appreciate it a whole lot. Y'all have a good one now. You hear?